Guess what? If you're asking or thinking to yourself, why is this happening to me? Why now? Why me? I'm here to tell you it's happening for you if or whatever it is. And it's easier said than done. But the real question to ask is, what can I learn from this situation? What am I meant to learn from this thing that's happening to me? Not why, but what? And when you reframe your mind like that, guess what? You empower yourself to become better. Knowing that things aren't happening to you. That's a victim mindset. And I know there's a lot of you that it feels like the whole entire world is just crumbling and crashing down. And I know that experience way too personally, right? I've had many, I would call them tower moments, right? When the tower comes collapsing or the bottom drops out. And it feels like everything is against us. It feels like, you want to blame and shame and, you just really start to shut down and give up when it's like that. But I'm telling you, it's time to get up, dust off, and keep going. There's something for you to learn, and the thing to learn, it's a spiritual evolution. Right? There's a lesson in this. And that's where I believe a lot of men are disconnected spiritually. And I'm not preaching religion here. It's not a religious conversation. But I do believe in the spirit. I believe in God. I believe in energy. And I believe that we've actually asked for these types of challenges throughout the course of our life for us to reconnect with our higher self, our highest self. It's like we come into this world and we have a veil over our eyes as to what the heck's really going on. And the more and more of these tower type moments that happen to us, I believe they are to bring about transformation, expansion. And it's painful. It's a painful experience because we have attachments. We put so much inventory. We put so much of our energy and our identity in things, and things could be relationships. They could be the title or a job or a position, possessions, right? And when those things get knocked out from under us, or they go poof and they disappear, on the other side of that, who are you? And I believe that this is the whole experience, is truly realizing that, and this is going to sound crazy, but it's my belief. I believe it's all an illusion. It's all just things we make up in our minds that, we feel that we can't do life without it. When it's like in your mind right now, let's do this exercise. If you're someone that's feeling anxious or you're feeling depressed because there's something you wish was different in your life, can you envision what a positive outcome would be? You're going through a really shitty situation, but like if you had the power to bring about a positive outcome in any situation, right? Can you close your eyes and envision this positive outcome happening? it should bring about a smile on your face. You should be able to be like, and just go with it. Don't think logically. Remember, let your thinking mind take a rest right now. Just allow for your imagination to envision that no matter what's happening right now, maybe it's even just overcoming an addiction, right? Can you imagine yourself being free from your addiction? Can you imagine yourself attracting like the most incredible partnership, lover into your life, or getting a promotion, or moving to a new town, or just like there's something that's happening in your life. We all have something, myself included. This is life. It doesn't matter what chapter you're in, what phase you're in. There is always something that we wish was different. And it takes you just sitting there and envisioning it, visualizing that thing happening in a way that you truly desire. And as you capture that vision, now tell yourself, it's done. It's complete. It happened. And it takes practice to like really continue going back to that visualization process. And there's clearly a lot of other tools that you can use on a daily basis that doesn't cost you a lot more other than your time and your attention, right? Before I started this video, I kicked off my shoes and socks. It's a really chilly morning, and I put myself in that cold dirt, and I grounded myself, and I did some sun gazing, and I did some meditation, and I just gave a lot of thanks for the things for all kinds of different things. You're one of those things. This channel, which to me is really a team, a nation, a family, the results kill excuses vision that I have, I'm grateful for each and every one of you that has been hearing my message. There was a lot of times that I felt like I was just spitting in the wind, right? Or peeing in the wind. It's come right back at me. Ain't nobody want to hear this shit, because why? I know that this message is not popular. And I know those of you that are hearing it are like, man, men need to hear this shit. And it's true, they do need to hear it. In due season, I do believe we're going through a shift energetically, right? To where the time has come for men to heal, to connect with their divine birthright, their divine identity, to be the divine masculine that they're called to be. And that takes healing emotionally. That takes connecting with God spiritually. That takes having more discipline as to what are your habits, what are your patterns of life. Are you taking care of your body, right? Are you doing all that you can to be the best version of you? And things don't change instantaneously, but I'm here to tell you that in the realm of possibilities, when you close your eyes and you envision a positive outcome for any situation, if you can envision it and then you can connect with how you would feel. I mean, if you just stop and just ask yourself, how would you feel if your dream came true? How would you feel? I mean, for most of you, it should bring about a level of like excitement, maybe even some relief. There's probably a lot of you out there, like myself, that it's like a long-suffering heart, a long suffering. Just, one storm after the next, one hardship after the next. And what I've learned in this life is that don't ask for the storms to change, because who can control the weather? But ask for the strength to change yourself in the midst of the storm. That's some great wisdom, ain't it? Ask yourself that. Do you have the ability to change the storms, to change the seasons? Not so much. But you do have power and the ability to change who you are in the storms. It always baffles me when seasons change and weather is not summer. And people get so bent out of shape. They get so triggered about like what's happening in the environment. I mean, it's like people that live in a place that snows hate snow. They hate it. But yet they choose to live there. And so what does that do for them? What does it do for you when you are choosing to keep yourself in an environment in an environment that isn't aligned with your joy, your happiness? Because see, the truth is that if you can't change, I can't change the weather here right now, even though I wish I could. If I could change the weather here right now, I would wish for a big blizzard. Right? But here's the thing is, if I'm someone that really desires blizzards, I could go to a place where it's snowing, or I could look at radars and find out where it's going to be snowing tomorrow or tonight, and I could go there. We have the ability to go to these other places. And so stick with me. I think there's some really cool shit coming up right now in this message, which this is actually take 2. I had something go down earlier, and everything happens for us. I got a little frustrated earlier, and I had to stop and, it's who am I going to be? The fact that something disrupted me and I had to start over again. Do I beat myself up? Do I give less in this second round? Do I allow for that whatever happened to mess me up? Or do I just stay present and make the most out of it, knowing that everything is perfect the way it is? Perfect is different than ideal. Perfect is meaning, if you've ever had a garden, right, and you plant some seeds, and you know that the soil's right, and you're going to take care of them right and water them just right. When you plant the seeds, you don't expect them to grow in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or even by the next day. And so do you go and dig up the seeds every day just to check to see if they're doing what they're supposed to do? And so that needs to apply to our lives in terms of everything is perfect, meaning if you're going through a hard time, right? There's highs and then there's lows. You're going through a low. Well, on the other side of the low is going to be a high. It's not going to stay bad forever. But can you allow yourself to grow in the darkness, just like the seeds? They grow in the darkness. Can you allow yourself to spiritually grow in the darkness, in the hardship, in the storm that you're in? Or are you going to choose to try and escape the storm, to try and control the storm, or to try and totally ignore that it's even storming, when you really do need to go out into the storm and to face the storm versus staying hidden? Because there is something for you to learn within every single storm. And some storms come and they stay for a while. I've had some extended storms that lasted years. I could think of one storm in my life that has kind of lingered for several years now. And it's just really the feeling of heartbreak, the feeling of loss, the feeling of failure in the context of a relationship, the longing and the missing of somebody that I had such a vision and a hope and an optimism for, and it went south. It didn't happen. And there's parts of me that is still processing and releasing and trying to let go and move on. And then yet here we are in a holiday season. And last year I was in a relationship and there was like a lot of family and connection and Christmasing and all that. And this year is totally different. I'm back to a season of singularity. But am I really alone? No. But I do know that I believe God put me in this season to teach me a few things. To teach me a lot of things. I can tell you a lot of the things I'm learning is one, that what really matters to me. Am I someone that, again, having a past history of being a guy that would self-sacrifice in order to keep someone else happy, or I would compromise on the things that matter to me, right, in order to have someone else be a part of my life? Is that really in my best interest? Is it aligned with my calling? And what I mean by that is, if post-divorce, the last 5 years, I've been in 2 long-term relationships. And when I say long-term, one was 18 months, one was a year. And there's this in-between of when I'm just doing me, right? Living that single life. And for those of you that are in relationships, I also understand who I became in the context of the relationship to keep the relationship there. But I think about me, right, on my program, on my routine, mindfulness, minding my mornings, eating my health, moving my booty, right? Learning every day, and then lending a hand to make a difference. Those are the 5 daily principles that I use to keep my cup full, energetically speaking. And I can tell you that when I get into a relationship that I want to be serious about, I see that I compromise a lot more than I probably would like. I definitely compromise on the food because it's like you got to be going out on dates and eating out at restaurants, and I don't really like that. I'm kind of a weird dude when it comes to the nutrition, and it's because I know what it was to let myself go. And now that I have rebuilt myself, into the optimal version of myself, like I don't ever want to go back to that. But yet when I find myself in relationships, it's like to manage that relationship, it's a part of that vetting process to find someone that aligns with that level of health and nutrition and discipline. And if you find someone that doesn't, who compromises? Are they going to come your way, or are you going to go their way? And so, those are some things that in the relationship, like I went over 200 pounds for the first time, like by New Year's of this year. And that shit freaked me the hell out. I'm like, dude, I'm really letting it go, man. And I was in a relationship. And I could tell I wasn't sticking to my shit. And so now here I am a year later, I've locked back in. I recommitted to myself in 24 that 1, I wasn't going to do like extra servings. I was going to really lock down the nutrition. And 2, I was going to regain my consistency in the gym. And I'm so proud of myself that being in a relationship for just a little over half the year, I achieved those goals. I did regain myself. But now that I'm back into a season of singularity, I'm having, I'm kind of reestablishing my regimen and my routine. And being a man in my 40s, I'm not looking for a woman to start a family with. And so, I think that one of the most important values that I have is health and nutrition. And I really would be wasting someone else's time and they'd be wasting mine if I even tried to date somebody that isn't literally aligned with me in terms of exercise, activity, health, and nutrition. I think that'd be a huge mistake, because that is one of the top values that I truly have for the rest of my life. I do not want to lose it. And it's so easy, right? It would be so easy for me, right? To just go all the way back down to where I came from, to lose all the gains, all the work. It's like you lose it 10 times faster than you gain it. And I know that's why most people just don't even start the process of regaining and setting yourself up for success. You don't do it because you're like, fuck, this is too hard. This road is too challenging. But you need to, we've all heard it before. Pick your hard, choose your hard. Avoiding challenges is going to weaken you. Thus, even little tiny things get y'all fucking worked up and get y'all in your negative feelings, feeling mad, angry, or sad, and creating even more problems for yourself because people won't feel safe around you. Or you're someone that says, you know what? I am going to fucking take this shit on and I'm going to get after it. And it doesn't make the storms go away. But that mindset is what builds you up. It makes you stronger. It makes you more resilient. It makes you better equipped to stay centered, to be more of a rock, which is the masculine, that is the vision of real healthy masculinity, is not to just be shut down and unemotional, but it is to truly not even be suppressing emotions. It's to be emotionally fluid, but knowing that you can sit there and if, the people around you, if they're having some emotional outbursts, it doesn't rock your world. You don't get triggered. You can hold that space. And if there's something you can do to help them, then that's a beautiful thing. And that's really this whole message, is that if you want to improve the relationships you have with others, improve the relationship you have with yourself. And I know that so many men, they're so disconnected from the emotions. We have missed that programming. And it's probably by design. And yet, we're so robotic, most men, in our heart of hearts, we just want peace. What guy wants drama in a relationship? They don't. But the thing that you don't realize is that women are very emotionally stimulated, right? And so they do enjoy drama, whether or not, and it's like, it is toxic when a guy's like, you're creating drama. Well, it's because they like that. And there's some really healthy ways for you as a man to be able to stimulate and fulfill those needs of your woman. For her to feel like, you're taking charge. For you to kind of surprise her and, sweep her off her feet and romanticize her. It's like, a lot of you dudes, man, if you've been in long-term relationships, that's one of the biggest lessons I learned losing my 21-year marriage was when I got back in the dating scene. I'm like, oh, fuck. I fucked up. I had fucked up. I'm always in a romantic guy. But I had stopped dating my wife. I stopped really dating her. And it's like, I probably, if I knew then what I know now, I mean, I probably would still have my relationship. But everything happens for us. I can't sit in that hypothetical and say, and dwell on it forever saying, oh man, I totally screwed my life up because now I've learned these lessons, but I lost that. And it's like, no, she's in a good place. I'm in a good place. And we have a relationship. We're going to be not in a romantic relationship, but we're going to have a connection for the rest of our life. We have children. That's going to keep us connected. And I don't mind showing up and supporting her in any way possible. But I can tell you in terms of the romance, like a lot of guys, it's like you get the relationship, you get that commitment, you fall in love, and then next thing you know, you settle. You like kind of just fucking kick back and act as if, okay, it's autopilot. No way, man. You got to maintain that thing. You got to maintain that. You got to be telling her how much you love her and how much you desire her and you're thinking about her. It's like women love that stuff, man. They love it. They're not going to tell you they love it, but they love it. They want that attention. They want you to be lusting over them and, talking dirty. They love that shit, man. And a lot of guys, we're just so busy, we're so beat down, and then, there's just all this wounding, and then you ask yourself, how do you hit the reset button? Other than self-sabotaging and just, creating more and more and more emotional distance in the relationship until literally it's just dead. The relationship just dies. It's like you guys still have it and you're both scared because there's all these either, connections through children or all these financial responsibilities that you literally just tolerate each other. That's sad, man. I think as a man, if you're hearing this message, it's on you. It's on you to lead. It's on you to put together the words, to reconcile and to heal and to really, and that's what your woman's waiting for. It's not her job to lead the marriage, to lead the relationship, whether it's just on a day-to-day basis or to bring it back from a bad place, right? You are to breathe life into that relationship. You have the power. And if you need some help coming up with this, I can tell you, I can give you some more guidance based on your particular circumstance. Reach out to me, greg@resultskillexcuses.com. We can sit back, set up an appointment. I ask for 3 things. 1, you reach out, tell me your story. 2, book an appointment. And 3, make sure your ass shows the fuck up. But I would be happy to help. I mean, this is my calling. And I know that you can learn from my mistakes. If you're hearing this message and it resonates with you, that tells me alone that it's the law of attraction, that we have a similar situation. There is some commonality between what I've been through and what you're going through. And thus, that's what perfectly qualifies me to help you, is because I have definitely gone through lots and lots of storms and I didn't avoid them. I've literally faced them and I've had success and I continue to have success and I continue to put in the work each and every day, 1% better each and every day. That is the mantra. Results do kill excuses, but your excuses will kill your results. And you sitting there and not leading, which is what men need to do, is so important. So instead of asking yourself, why is this happening? It's time to self-rescue. It's time to fucking grab the bull by the horns and start to put in some work. Build your confidence. Look and find that courageous, brave, warrior spirit that's inside of you. Yes, you have a warrior inside of you. You need to unleash that warrior to be able to face whatever you're facing and to realize that there are positive solutions to all your problems. And that the bigger the problems, the bigger the struggle, that means the bigger the breakthrough. right? There's always an equal and opposite at play. So when you're feeling like you're faced something really challenging right now, I can promise you on the other side, if you keep going, it's going to be a much sweeter place, a much better place to be. Don't give up. Get up, dust off, and keep going. I love you guys. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.